In this video, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the side quest King Silver and exploring 3 possible outcomes. The first is what I consider to be the best outcome, the second is the outcome that is the most profitable, and the third is what I consider to be the worst. So, let's get started. She be gaming. This side quest has you investigating what's going on with the mines in Skalitz. So to get that started, you have to find the chief engineer, who can be a bit tricky to find, but his real name is actually Tobias Fafar, and you can find him here in his study.
Master Fafar, Sir Radzig sent me to you.
Did he? He must think highly of you, because this is damned important. Silver's our most valuable asset.
How can I help with these, evil forebodings of yours?
Sir Radzig may make light of it, but a large quantity of silver has been discovered hereabouts, and no one is guarding the Skalitz mines.
You really think someone could be stealing the silver from the mines? I would have thought that would be quite a job, wouldn't it?
It certainly would.
So you're asked to examine the ore processing yard, the condition of the mine shaft, and to find the mine gallery that Master Fafar asks you to find, and report all your findings back to him.
Is that the yard next to the Skalitz mill?
That's the one. I don't know what state it's in now. There used to be a stock of charcoal and smelted silver there.
A silver store? Could there really be any left?
I doubt it. I'd be surprised if it was still standing at all.
What about these waterworks? What's there?
A stamping mill and washing troughs. They're on the bend in the river below the castle. You can't miss them.
Well, you and Sir Radzig can rely on me. That's all clear. I'll get going.
All 3 locations are indicated on your map for you, so it makes it pretty easy to find. Just be aware that when you do arrive at the ore processing yard, there will be a bandit there, so you might want to take him out.
The answer to my prayers, just when I wanted to vent my rage on someone.
Now that he's been dealt with, you can go and inspect the ore processing yard and see what you find.
This is in surprisingly good condition.
Next, you're going to head over to the waterworks and examine that area as well.
This doesn't look too bad. I guess those bastards didn't want to get soaked. Seems they had a good go at wrecking this, but it's still standing.
Before you head out, you might want to go creep up on those cumin that are hiding in the shed and take them out. So next on the list is going to the mine gallery, but what the game doesn't tell you is that there's a camp settlement just up the hill that you can go and visit. And you'll want to go here before going to the mine gallery because you're going to be able to speak to a couple of the miners there and get a little bit more clarity in regards to what's really going on and ask some questions. First, go speak to the only woman mine worker that's at the campsite.
God grant you health. How may I help you?
What's a woman doing here with all these men?
Why shouldn't I be? I'm as scared to stick my nose outside as any man.
You could all take refuge in Sasau or Rattay.
And what if something happens to us along the way? What if we run into a pack of cutthroats? What then?
But that could...
Besides, the rest of them will have to come back here eventually. The mines can't stand idle forever. We'll make do here until then.
Where's your husband?
What do you want of him?
I want to ask him what's going on here.
Well, then you'd best start praying. He got killed when they stormed Skalitz.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
So am I. He was a good man. So you'll have to make do with asking me.
What's been happening here?
Apart from us losing everything, Living in fear of sticking our noses outside and waiting for folk to come back again?
Yes?
Nothing.
So why didn't you say that straight away?
Why should I? You bluff your way in here and start asking questions like you own the place, and it never crosses your mind you might not be welcome.
But I'm only...
Only what?
So this is where the choices you make will start to have different outcomes in the end of this quest. If you're nice to this woman during this conversation, she'll be more helpful. But if you're rude to her, she won't help you or provide you with more information later on. We'll come back to that later. Now, let's take a look at how you can get what I consider to be the best outcome for this quest.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that.
Well, perhaps you didn't. But nothing ever happens here. If anyone hears anything, we run and hide like rabbits. And otherwise, we just sit on our asses.
Here's what happened if you choose the other option and are rude to her. This is what leads her to not want to help Henry down the road.
Damn it, wench. Mind your tongue.
I'll give you, wench. Fuck off yourself, laddie.
Sir Radzig sent me here to look around.
Radzig, eh? Well, what do you know? And you're going to take a look at the mine? Or are you looking for people?
Well, Master Fayfar asked me to look the place over.
Master, my ass. A dolt, that's what he is. They leave the folk here, and no one so much as comes to check on them. But when it comes to silver, they send their men at once.
Well, he probably assumed everyone was killed, or they'd fled.
Lovely thought, that is. A few of them did die, mind, waiting for someone to turn up.
It's not that straightforward. Our people are scattered all over, some without food or shelter. And Sir Radzig is doing his best to take care of them.
But no one takes care of us. We have to take care of ourselves.
That's because no one knew about you. And how could they, when you're so well hidden? It's as if you didn't want anyone to find you.
But you found us.
Because I set out to leave no stone unturned here. Otherwise, I might have missed you too.
Take care.
After that conversation, go find Foreman Nimoy. You'll want to speak to him. But when you arrive at the camp, he will be sleeping, and nothing you do will wake him up, except shooting an arrow next to his head for some odd reason. You'll have to let him get scared, run away, and then wait for him to come back to the camp. Once he does come back to the camp and settles down, you'll finally be able to talk to him and get some answers.
Not so fast, lad. I'm in charge round here, so I'll do the asking. And the question is, what are you doing here? Come to steal the silver, have you?
I've come on the warrant of Sir Radzig and Master Fayfar to look around. So tell me why you're loitering here and not with your master.
Why would I be with him? He ran off and left us here for the cutthroats and starvation. We're just lucky we managed to hide and find some supplies.
Well, I won't defend everything Sir Radzig's done. He forbade me to go back and bury my own parents. Was I meant to leave them lying there for the crows?
There's been a lot of deaths here, and some of the shafts are, well, a nightmare.
What happened?
We buried all we could, but some will have to wait.
But back to those mines. I need to take a look around there.
Needs must. The main tunnels are to the north. I've got my man on guard at one, but tell him Nimoy sent you and he'll give you no trouble.
If you're in charge here, you'll have to go and see Master Fayfar. He has a lot of questions to ask you.
Ha! Right. They'll ask with a red-hot iron while they're building a pyre for me.
Choose the peaceful solution for the best
Perhaps
outcome.
we can find a peaceful solution.
What do you mean?
Just get the hell out of here. I'm in no mood to fight with you, but I'd better not see you back here again.
All right, all right. We'll just get our things together and go. Never fear. God be with you.
Now that you've checked out the camp, it's time to head down to the mine and find out exactly what the heck is going on there.
Halt. What do you want?
We already know this guy's not supposed to be here because Master Fayfar told Henry that he doesn't have anybody guarding the mine.
I'm here by order of Sir Radzig and Master Fayfar. And who are you?
Who am I? I'm keeping guard here so no rogues get in to steal the silver.
That's very commendable. I'll take you to Master Fayfar so he can reward you.
But I can't go anywhere. Who would stand watch if I left my post?
Head into the mine and keep following the path until you reach a cutscene.
I say, don't push me.
You're out to kill us all.
Don't push me.
Your obsession has warped your mind.
Don't push me. No! Hey, do you hear me? Can you hear me? Are you alive? Come on, say something.
Hey! Hey, you there! What have you done?
Me? It wasn't me. It must have been one of your lot pushed him down the shaft.
If you hadn't come sniffing around, none of this would have happened.
What's my being here got to do with it? What the fuck's been going on? Whatever it is, now you've got a murder to answer for.
Only if someone finds out.
Listen, neighbours, don't be stupid. You don't want to add another murder to the count. It could have been an accident.
You know that was no accident. Or maybe you came to blows, pushed him down, and then we had to stop you.
That's ridiculous. If you all clear off out of here, I promise nobody will be asking what happened. Why add to your troubles?
Hey! Where are you going? You're not going to abandon us, are you? Not after all the good times we've had together? Don't you remember how we took care of everyone? Hey!
Foreman Nimoy has just been pushed down the shaft by what sounded like a woman's voice. And now the rest of the miners are attacking you. So you gotta find your way out of the mine alive. And while you're making your way out, you might as well take out everyone you find along the way.
What was that?
When you escape the mine, the game tells you to head back to Tobias Fafar and report back on what you find. But what you're actually going to want to do is return to the camp. When you get there, it will be completely deserted. All the miners will have run away in fear of Henry, except for the woman miner. She has stayed, and she will be willing to speak with Henry and give him a little bit more information. This is why it's so important that you were nice to her when you first met her. Otherwise, she would have ran away with everyone else.
Mother of God, you look like you've been assaulted.
No one stayed behind here but you. Why didn't you run while you could?
I hardly know myself. Maybe I just wanted to let you know we weren't all villains here.
And why were you here in the first place? Why did you want to kill me?
We were holed up here. And also, we were helping Nimoy mine the silver.
But that's a capital crime. And besides, it's a hell of a job. A dozen of you could hardly manage it.
Just before the raid, we hit on a vein of pure silver. That's much easier to deal with. So when the killers came through here, some folk left, and those who stayed were the ones who knew about it.
You too?
They talked me into it. Because I helped my man with the smelting. I can do it as well as he could.
Did you see what happened here? Who pushed Nimoy down the shaft?
There's no point lying about it, I suppose. I was the one who pushed him. But I didn't mean to push him all the way down. It was just that he kept shouting how if we killed you, we'd get our peace and calm back, and we'd be able to mine some more. But...
But what?
No one wanted to. They all wanted to leave. That's why we moved up here. People don't get on with one another for too long down there.
I can well imagine.
I don't think Nimoy ever cared much for people. Not even about the silver.
So what am I to do with you now?
Do you mean to make me regret I didn't flee?
I don't know. You didn't steal any silver, or did you?
None. It all ended up in one keg, because Nimoy knew some man that would buy it.
And what did he do with it? You can't hide a keg of silver under your cloak.
How should I know? But they say Nimoy had known the fellow a while. He'd most likely been stealing for some time.
And where's the keg now?
I don't know. It was buried in some heap around here, but maybe it got passed on by now. They never let me in on that side of things.
It might be possible to find this silver in the game. Leave a comment if you found it.
I need to bring someone who can bear witness to what happened here. I'll take you to Ratai.
You can tell them yourself. You can't really want to drag me off to a town where I might end up burned at the stake. I can see I should have run.
It's harsh, but to get the best outcome, you have to take her with you.
Well, that's the rule of law. Where would the world be without justice?
You're such a coward. That justice of yours isn't as just as you think, especially when you're poor.
The game will automatically bring you back to Rattay at this point, and you've just done everything you can to get the best case scenario outcome for this quest, because you've literally found everything Fafar asked and more.
Lord be praised. What brings you to me?
I'm here about the mine.
Excellent. So what did you find out?
It's been plundered and wrecked, but everything can be fixed. It'll be quite a job, but at least it won't have to be rebuilt from scratch.
That's a weight off my mind. And did you see anyone there? Thieves or suspicious types?
This is where you'll tell him about Nimoy and the other miners stealing silver, and that you brought a witness, which is more than he asked you to do.
Nimoy and his gang were stealing silver there.
The vermin. I thought as much. Did you bring him here?
I tried to, but he was having none of it. He didn't want to burn, so he tried to kill me.
Well, I'm glad he didn't succeed. But now I won't be able to find out anything. Oh, well. Can't be helped, I suppose.
Because you did everything he asked, you can now negotiate for a reward.
About my reward for the investigation.
Yes, of course. Actually, I don't believe any reward was mentioned. On the other hand, you surveyed everything as I asked, and that deserves a groschen or two.
And I brought a captive.
Yes, and thanks to that we might learn something. You certainly deserve a little extra for that.
And they tried to murder me.
Yes, of course. It's a sad world we live in. I'm sure you deserve a little extra coin for it.
And the silver is still there somewhere.
Well, that is good. It'll take us a while to find it, but you deserve something for that as well.
It's been a pleasure.
Good. There you go, then.
If your speech is high enough, you can negotiate for a little bit more than the 300 groschen you're being offered.
That hardly seems worth what I've been through.
You're right. Here's a little more to be going on with.
So now you've gotten an extra 300 groschen for a total of 600 groschen. Not bad. But let's take a look at another option that is even more profitable than this one. This second option is what is the most profitable for this quest. Not the most honest, but definitely the most profitable
I
outcome.
want to talk to you, Mine Master.
You're still here?
If you're in charge here, you'll have to go and see Master Fafar. He has a lot of questions to ask you.
Ha! Right. They'll ask with a red-hot iron while they're building a pyre for me.
Perhaps we can find a peaceful solution.
What do you mean?
This time, ask him to share the silver with you.
If you share the silver with me, I might just forget I saw you here.
Really? For a little silver, you'd let us go?
Go and bother someone else.
Just so. I'll make believe I never saw you here.
All right. Fine. Here, take it. And I hope this is the last we'll see of you. May the Lord watch over you.
From this point on, you're going to continue the quest as you normally would. The foreman still gets pushed down the mine shaft, unfortunately. But the conversation with Master Fafar goes a little bit differently.
Excellent. So what did you find out?
It's been plundered and wrecked, but everything can be fixed. It'll be quite a job, but at least it won't have to be rebuilt from scratch.
That's a weight off my mind. And did you see anyone there? Thieves or suspicious types?
There was neither hide nor hair of anyone there.
I'm glad to hear it. Sir Radzig was right then, I suppose. I'm just letting my imagination run away with me. But damn it all. I was convinced something rotten was afoot there.
About my reward for the investigation.
Yes, of course. Actually, I don't believe any reward was mentioned. On the other hand, you surveyed everything as I asked, and that deserves a groschen or two.
was rude to the female miner with this option, so she wasn't at the camp when I went back to look for her, so I didn't get the information from her and didn't have her as a witness.
And they tried to murder me.
Yes, of course. It's a sad world we live in. I'm sure you deserve a little extra coin for it.
It's been a pleasure.
Good. There you go, then.
Luckily, I have high speech, so I was able to negotiate for more groschen.
That hardly seems worth what I've been through.
You're right. Here's a little more to be going on with.
So, this option got you 450 groschen from the foreman and 600 groschen from Tobias Fafar for a total of 1,050 groschen. Now, that's worth it to me. Let's take a look at the worst possible outcome.
What are you doing here?
Not so fast, lad. I'm in charge round here, so I'll do the asking. And the question is, what are you doing here? Come to steal the silver, have you?
I've come on the warrant of Sir Radzig and Master Fafar to look around. So tell me why you're loitering here and not with your master.
Why would I be with him? He ran off and left us here for the cutthroats and starvation. We're just lucky we managed to hide and find some supplies.
If you're in charge here, you'll have to go and see Master Fafar. He has a lot of questions to ask you.
Ha! Right. They'll ask with a red-hot iron while they're building a pyre for me.
That is the punishment for stealing silver.
And how do you propose to take us all there?
It's enough to take you. The others can run while they have the chance.
Even so, is it really worth it to you?
If you insist he come with you, this is where things get messy.
It is. You can't just steal the king's silver and get away with it.
So be it, boy. Good luck to you.
You'll be left with no choice but to take him out, unfortunately. Since you've already taken care of the foreman, there's no cutscene this time when you go into the mine. And since you have a really bad reputation, all the other miner workers now hate you, including the woman. So they run away every time Henry gets close to the camp, and you don't end up getting any more information from the woman to bring back to Fafar.
God bless you. What troubles you?
I'm here about the mine.
Excellent. So what did you find out?
I didn't get round to having a proper look. I came across something more disturbing.
What's that?
Nemoy and his gang were stealing silver there.
The vermin. I thought as much. Did you bring him here?
I tried to, but he was having none of it. He didn't want to burn, so he tried to kill me.
Well, I'm glad he didn't succeed. But now I won't be able to find out anything. Oh, well. Can't be helped, I suppose.
With this option, Henry doesn't get a reward at all. He also doesn't find out any extra information for Fafar, including that there's a stash of silver hidden somewhere. So there you have it. The best possible outcome, the outcome that gets you the most groschen, and the worst possible outcome. Hopefully you found this video interesting. If you did, it would be awesome if you left a like for me, just to let me know that you enjoyed it. And if you found that hidden stash of silver, let me know in the comments, because I'd love to know where it is. Like always, thank you for spending this time with me today, friend, and I will see you in the next video.